A historic day on Capitol Hill. Confirmation hearings begin for a new Supreme Court justice.
For too long, our government, our courts, haven't looked like America.
For the first time, a black woman could be sitting on the nation's highest court.
I am truly humbled by the extraordinary honor of this nomination.
Snow continues to increase along the Front Range. I'm tracking where the heaviest is going to fall and when temperatures will bounce back to the 60s.
Plus, Colorado will mark 1 year since a gunman opened fire at a King Soopers in Boulder, killing 10 people.
It's been really hard for all of us.
King Soopers is giving the community time to reflect, and a local artist is doing her part to help.
Art has the power for healing, I think, and bringing beauty and bringing soothing, and when people see it, they feel welcomed.
It's a snowy Monday morning out there, and depending on where you are, that depends on how much snow is falling. On the left, look at I-25 in Denver. Roads pretty much just wet out there right now, but out on the right is out on the eastern plains along I-70, where you can't really tell where I-70 is, frankly. Our CDOT camera covered with ice and snow. That's why we're under a weather action day as this March storm rolls through. This is a check of the current radar showing snow starting to move into the metro from the south, and you can just see those heavier, darker blue bands out there out east along the Kansas border. So let's start with Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson. And Mike, some areas could see a few quick inches before the warmer weather does return.
That is correct, Jason. And the worst of this is going to be east of Denver from Lyman out into Kansas and down all the way to the Texas Panhandle. We'll see some heavy snows in those areas. Denver will have lighter snow, as will the mountains, maybe just a few inches. Here's the view currently at Winter Park. Light snow falling there. Light snow is falling on the Pearl Street Mall in Boulder at the moment. And the temperatures have certainly fallen quite a bit from yesterday's beautiful readings in the 60s. Right now, just 40 at Fort Collins and Greeley and 34 degrees currently in the Denver area. You can see the heaviest snows out on the eastern plains to the east of Denver, much lighter over central Colorado. Winter weather advisories coat the plains, winter storm warnings farther to the south, a high wind warning for strong north winds from Colorado Springs down to Pueblo. So the southern part of the Denver area is under a winter weather advisory, as is parts of Jefferson County, but no advisories for the downtown area or points to the north. Nonetheless, we are getting a pretty good little burst of snow coming in here. The roads are wet right now. It will be a little bit slick this afternoon. Heavy snow for the eastern plains, 1 to 3 inches for Denver. Windy and colder, and there will be some blizzard conditions possible out on the southeast corner of the state.
All right, Mike, we'll check back with you in just a few minutes. Now, you can get 24/7 Colorado weather updates and live radar on your TV. Just download the free Denver 7 Plus app for your favorite streaming device. It's a historic day at the U.S. Capitol. Senate confirmation hearings are happening right now for Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's President Joe Biden's first Supreme Court nominee. This marks the first time in American history the Senate Judiciary Committee will consider a black woman for the nation's highest court. Some congressional Republicans are opposed to Jackson's nomination. M. Wynn is on Capitol Hill, where Republicans are intensifying their attacks and Democrats are pushing back.
History in the making for President Biden's groundbreaking Supreme Court nominee, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. In the High Court's 233-year history, Jackson would be the first black woman to serve if confirmed.
And I'm fully confident you'll serve Americans from all walks of life, all backgrounds, fairly and faithfully.
Today's confirmation hearings consisting of statements from committee members, introductions, and then words from Judge Jackson herself. The 51-year-old mother of two is considered the most heavily vetted Supreme Court nominee in 30 years, having been confirmed 3 times before by the full Senate, including in just the past year. Since her nomination, Judge Jackson has sat down with more than 40 senators, including all members of the Senate Judiciary Committee.
I can only hope that my life and career will inspire future generations of Americans.
This week opens amid a flurry of misleading allegations by committee member Republican Senator Josh Hawley that Jackson has a record of letting child porn offenders off the hook during sentencing. The White House calling the claims unfounded, while context shows Hawley had previously voted to confirm at least 3 federal judges who also engaged in the same practice. Still, Tuesday and Wednesday, senators will get their chance to grill the nominee, scrutinize her work, though many have pointed out she's had more judicial experience than most justices. Top Republicans still undecided.
In any Supreme Court nomination, the most important thing that I look for is the nominee's view of the law.
Recent Supreme Court confirmation hearings have been a partisan affair, but the Biden administration is holding out hope that they'll secure at least some bipartisan support. Even if she doesn't, it appears Judge Jackson is well on her way to getting confirmed to the highest court in the land. Judge Jackson's replacement of Justice Stephen Breyer, who's retiring, won't shift the court's ideological balance. Still, it's a crucial moment for Jackson and the Biden presidency. Emwin, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
And ABC will air a special report when Ketanji Brown Jackson gives her opening statements to the Senate Judiciary Committee. It's expected to start around 1 o'clock this afternoon. In developments from Ukraine this morning, military analysts say that the war is entering a new phase as Ukrainian forces hold their own against Russian troops. Now, there are concerns Russian President Vladimir Putin will double down on his attacks with his troops bogged down.
We've seen deliberate targeting of cities and towns and civilians throughout in the last several weeks. I believe that he's taking these kinds of steps because his campaign is stalled.
Several Ukrainian cities are facing attacks from Russian airstrikes, and Ukrainian troops refuse to surrender. Over the weekend, Ukraine's president said he is willing to speak to Putin about how to end the war. President Joe Biden is holding several meetings this week about the situation in Ukraine. Today, he's talking with European leaders. He'll also talk with CEOs of major American companies about oil prices and inflation. The president then heads to Europe. He will go to Europe on Wednesday for an emergency summit and will meet with Poland's president in Warsaw on Friday. Oil prices spiked more than $4 today to above $111 a barrel. It's because the EU is considering banning Russian oil imports. The U.S. banned Russian oil earlier this month. Farmers in the U.S. are feeling the impact of the war in Ukraine and inflation. The price of gas is causing some farmers to spend thousands of dollars to fill up tanks for equipment. Fertilizer also costing more because it's made from natural gas. Russia is a key supplier, and the country stopped exporting it.
How much more does it take to fill up those bins behind me this year compared to last year?
Today's cost is $60,000 more per tank. I have 4 tanks. That's $240,000.
Wheat is also costing more. Prices are at their highest level since 2008. That means people will pay more for things like bread at the grocery store. Well, tomorrow is a painful day for Colorado. Tuesday marks 1 year since a gunman opened fire at the Table Mesa King Soopers in Boulder, killing 10 people. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon reports what King Soopers is doing to give the community time to reflect.
Statewide, all King Soopers and City Market stores will mark the day with a moment of silence. That moment planned for 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, around the same time that the shooting started here at the King Soopers off of Table Mesa in Boulder. It's hard to even believe it's been a year since a gunman started shooting at people in the parking lot and then moved into the store. Boulder police officer Eric Talley was one of the victims and the first officer to respond to the scene during the shooting, saving lives as he gave his own for his community. Among the victims were 2 King Soopers employees and 7 others, ranging in age from 20 to 65. The president of King Soopers says closing the store is a way to give employees the space needed to continue navigating the healing process. The store in Boulder just reopened to the public a little more than a month ago after being redesigned. Inside is a mural done by a Boulder artist over the course of 3 months, who says the work was cathartic and hopes it brings employees and customers some comfort.
Once I finish a painting and it's hanging and it's appreciated, it's no longer my painting, it's now appreciated and part of the community. So it's hopefully continues to gift the community for what it's meant.
Definitely a gift for this community. You can see that mural behind me right now in this King Soopers here at Table Mesa. Those with King Soopers say there are also plans for a remembrance tree garden on the west side of the store where there will be a tree planted for each victim. The store will be closed starting at 11 o'clock tonight. It'll reopen at 6 in the morning on Wednesday. In Boulder, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
And people are invited to leave signs, flowers, and other mementos at the Boulder Police Department through tomorrow night. A patrol car is parked outside the department in honor of Officer Eric Talley. He was one of the 10 people killed in that shooting. Denver 7 will have team coverage of the Remembrance Day tomorrow. You can find our coverage on air on thedenverchannel.com and on the Denver 7 Plus app. Charges are expected to be formally dropped against an unlicensed security guard who shot and killed a man at a pro-police rally in Denver. Matthew Doloff was initially charged with murder after the October 2020 shooting. His attorney says he was acting in self-defense. Doloff will be in court starting at 1:30. We'll have much more on his court appearance starting at 4 on Denver 7. Well, Empire should be getting new parts to fix its well today. The town is running out of water. The mayor says the town's well is broken, but it could take about a week to fix. A creek is also partially frozen, and the town might have a water leak. The lack of water is forcing some businesses to shut down.
I'm trying to make the best light of it, but anytime you have to shut your business down, it hurts financially. Employees can't come to work, and then customers are very disappointed.
Now, there is a tanker behind the Empire Town Hall so people can get clean water. The Louisville City Council will vote tonight on a joint resolution with Superior and Boulder County to move forward with a contract for debris removal. The company is based out of Louisiana and hopes to have cleanup complete by the summer if the weather cooperates. Boulder County is planning to sign a contract to start the removal process at noon tomorrow. Well, coming up, Vail is looking ahead to next ski season with prices for its Epic Passes. And a Colorado woman is celebrating her birthday every day by giving back. Our Denver 7 Everyday Hero is next.